What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I've got a long commute today, so I figured I would use this time to sit down with you and just catch you up on a few things going on, a few little updates. So first of all, I want to say thank you so much to everybody for watching the videos that I've put out so far. The response has been amazing, and I've really enjoyed talking to you in the comments and just seeing what everyone has to say, and it's actually very, very fun. It's more fun than I thought it would be, and y'all have just been so gracious and so nice, and I just want to thank you for that, because I know, we all know that the internet can be a nasty place, and sometimes it is, but this audience here, y'all are just really, really gracious and really nice, and I just want to thank you for that. I have more ideas for more videos, and I plan on putting those out as I can. My issue really has just been time, both for the YouTube videos and the podcast. It's just been so difficult to find the time to really commit to really just being creative in general. It's really unfortunate because I enjoy recording the podcast and I enjoy doing these videos. It's just time, man. The time it takes is just so... I don't think people really understand how much time it takes. And for people that do it weekly or multiple videos a week, like my wife or my mom, like the time it takes to do that is just absolutely, it's unbelievable, the effort and the work that goes into it. It gives you a whole new respect for them and for people that do things like that. So here lately, I've really been trying to be intentional about things that I know for a fact make me feel better, not just physically but emotionally, spiritually, just in every way. And I feel like that I have a really good plan in place. Sometimes making a plan, it's just doing that makes us feel better, but a plan is really no good if you don't execute on the plan. So I've got a lot of things planned, but I've been trying to be intentional about actually doing those things. I've been drinking a lot more water. I've been really trying to be intentional about having my cup with me and drinking out of that, my big Yeti. I try to go through 2 of them a day. That's a lot of water. That's a lot of water, and it is very difficult to drink that much water because water, quenches your thirst. You get satiated by that, as opposed to like a Coke Zero or something. It doesn't really do anything for you. So you may drink a lot of soda in a day, but if you drink water instead of soda, you find yourself not being as thirsty, and so it really becomes difficult to drink that much. But I'm trying, and in fairness, it's not quite summertime yet. I know that when summertime comes around, I'm going to be drinking a lot more and will want and need a lot more. But just right now, while it's still been kind of cool, it's been hard to drink that much water, but I'm still trying to be intentional about that. Being intentional about taking the time to take care of myself mentally and emotionally. There's been a lot of things going on in our life that if you let it can really get to you. It can really affect your outlook on everything. And of course, everyone has things going on, and people like to compare trauma and stuff like that. That's not what I'm doing. I'm stating that with us, there's a lot of it y'all know about. There's some of it you don't know about, and that's okay. It's just with the stuff that's been going on, like I said, if you let it can really get to you. So I've just been trying to be intentional about, like I said, taking care of myself mentally and making sure that I remain in a good mental place to where I can be of help, not only to Sarah, but to those around me that need me to be present, that need me to be sharp. There's areas of my life that require my attention, that require me to be present, to be sharp, to be alert, to be just there. And if I let myself become compromised, which has happened in the past, like last year really put a whooping on me. I gotten to some really low places, but this year I'm not allowing that to happen. And some of those things that help me are, I feel better And I've learned these things about myself. There's certain things that I know that if I will do these things, I just feel better. It doesn't make me any better than anyone else. It's not about, oh, I am better than such and such, or people who don't do these things. I just know that they make me feel better about myself. And I'll share a few of those with you. Just for example, I know that if I have a good morning routine that I can stick to, I feel better by the time I leave the house. I feel way more optimistic about the day. I feel more just connected to the Lord. And I'll give you kind of a rundown of what my ideal morning routine is. I'm not always able to stick to it as much as I want to, and as much as I try, I fail. I mean, I'm very, very flawed humanity. But here's what my ideal morning kind of looks like. Waking up around, right now, waking up around 5:30. The times are kind of subject to change depending on where we're currently working. But right now, waking up around 5:30 and immediately just going and getting a shower. Now, the reason for that is I'm not a morning person. So the shower really helps me wake up in the morning. So immediately going and getting a shower, go ahead and get dressed, all that good stuff, brush your teeth. And then after you've done that, going to have a time of prayer where you just go into the prayer room, go to your prayer closet, shut the door, and just have some time alone with Jesus in prayer, reading His Word, submitting to Him for that day, getting instruction for that day. Jesus didn't do anything or go anywhere that the Father didn't tell Him to go. He made that clear and that's what He would do. He would pray every day, and He would get instruction on what to do. Jesus was fully God and fully man, and that flesh every single day had to be brought under subjection to the God that was inside Him. And that's what we have to do as sons of God, as daughters of God. He was our example. And so it's really good to start your day with prayer, with bringing your flesh under subjection, with making sure that everything is good between you and Him, and that you are in a place spiritually and mentally and all these other ways where you can receive instruction from Him on how to go about your day. So that's like the most important part of the morning. And to skip it really does make a difference in your day. Trust me, because there's some days where I have not done it. There's a lot of days, unfortunately, where I've not done it, but I'm really trying to be intentional about it now, because I've come to realize just how important it is. But once I spend that time in prayer and spend that time in His Word, I really like to kind of just do a sweep through the house, just make sure that everything's good, make sure that the cats are good, make sure that the doors are all still locked, make sure, just sweep everything and look and make sure that everything's okay before I leave. And once I do that, leave and get in the truck and just kind of have some time of just being mindful. Sometimes in the truck I'll listen to music, sometimes I'll listen to podcasts, but sometimes I do just pray, and I just continue in a spirit of prayer during the commute, and that seems to have a positive effect on the day. And but that morning routine really seems to help me, and that's something I can do that I know for a fact improves my day. But in addition to that, there's other things. Like I've really been trying to drink a lot more water. It's hard because I have my big, I think it's a 64-ounce Yeti cup, and I try to drink 2 of those a day. That's a lot of water. But the problem with it right now is it's not really summertime yet, so it's hard to drink that much water when, water satiates your thirst. You just kind of get quenched and you don't really want more water. But it's good to keep taking it in anyway, because I don't think I've ever... If you look into what it takes to really truly be hydrated, it almost seems impossible. And I've even asked, is it even possible for someone to become and stay hydrated, truly medically hydrated? I don't know. But I'm trying to be intentional about that. I'm trying to be intentional about just being mindful about the way that I think, the way that I speak, making sure that I'm representing the Lord in a way that I should be. Because in this world where there are so many frustrations and there's so many things going on at your job, there's so many things going on with your family, with whatever it may be in your life, it is a test. Like, it is a hard thing to do sometimes, to be even just something as simple as being positive. When you're surrounded by negativity, it is very, very difficult to be positive. And it takes the Lord helping me. I'm gonna speak for me. I have a hard time being positive and maintaining a positive attitude when I'm surrounded by negativity. I try to be positive and be the light in those situations and kind of be the one to introduce positivity into it, but sometimes what you want to do is just throw your hands up and be like, yep, everything's bad, everything's ruined, let's all just fold our arms and sit down and wait for it to get worse. That's what you want to do sometimes, but you can't do that. If everyone is negative, if everyone is down, if everyone is sad, then what? You know, so someone's got to be positive. Someone's got to be the good in the bad situation, and I try to do that. I try to be that person, and the Lord helps me. Sometimes I'm able to really do it with no trouble, but sometimes He really, really, really has to help me, because by nature, I sometimes find myself just defaulting to that place of, yeah, man, I agree, it's bad, you know, but I don't want to be like that, and I've come a long way. The Lord continues to help me with that, but I've been trying to be intentional about that. I've been doing things such as digital decluttering. I've been deleting old pictures, been organizing I use my notes app a lot. I've been organizing all my notes into their own separate folders, work, church, podcast, YouTube channel, you know, just all these folders. They all go into their own folders. I really like being organized, and anything like cleanliness, organization, stuff like that, I'm all for it. I love creating cleanliness. I love creating organization, and that process of doing that, the process makes me feel good, but the result makes me feel good as well. So that's something I've been doing, just kind of getting my phone and digital stuff back in order. My calendar, keeping it good. I've been using this app called Tick that's a really good to-do list app. It's been helping me too, because you don't just make like one to-do list, you have like categories, and I've got just general to-do, podcast to-do list, YouTube to-do list, work to-do list, like all those things are divided up, and that's kind of how my brain works. It's like everything has its own compartment, and what creates stress for me in my life is when those compartments start to overlap, and whenever it seems like I have to be in several compartments at once, I feel like I'm not able to serve any of them to the best of my ability. But anyway, that's kind of what I've been doing with these lists and stuff like that. I've really found that it helps me. I've found that it helps me pretty good, and I've been enjoying that. I really wish I would have started this and stuck to it a lot sooner, but you can't do anything about that. That's been another thing, though, is I've been trying to, and I'm saying trying a lot because it is a constant process. It's a constant battle to do these things, but I've been trying to look more so towards the now and the future as opposed to the past. I'm a very nostalgic person. I look back on memories, and I can go through my pictures, and I love to reminisce. I love to, I don't live in the past, but I love to think back on good times and all that. And I'm trying to be more intentional about, instead of doing so much of that, making those memories now. Making memories now that I will be able to look back on later in times of reflection, because it is good to reflect. It is good to have those times. I'm not saying we shouldn't do that, but I think that I've been a little out of balance. I've always been the type of person to look back on the good old days, where the fact is the good old days are right now. The good old days are the day that you have, because somebody didn't wake up today. Somebody just won't have any more good old days because their days are over. And yeah, they may be in a better place, and that's fantastic, but their family is here missing them. And I just want to enjoy life to the best of my ability while I still have it. And that, what I've learned about life and what I've learned about me, and maybe this is everybody, but there's a lot of things that you can just kind of wander into. Like, you can wander into debt, but you can't wander out, as Dave Ramsey says. You can wander into complacency and laziness and sadness, and you can just wander and you can just find yourself into those negative things. But it almost seems like any kind of positive outcome, you're not going to wander into that. You have to be very intentional about getting there. You have to do it on purpose. And that's just where I'm at in my life right now. I'm really trying to be intentional about these things, and it is a daily discipline. It is a daily, I don't want to use the word battle, but it is. It's a daily battle to do that. And I really enjoy the outcome, because even it feels good to not just let life happen to you. It feels good to know that, Lord, this is a day that you had written down before the very foundation of the earth, and I just want to live it the way that you intend for me to live it. I want to live it the way that you designed the day to be lived by me. I want to fulfill whatever part I'm supposed to fulfill in this day. And I don't want to sell myself short. I don't want to sell myself, I don't want to miss out on whatever he has for me in a day just because I've wandered into complacency, or I've wandered into laziness, or wandered into this, or wandered into that. I want to be more than that. And some days I feel like I've really got a good handle on it. Then there's other days where I'm like, man, I am struggling. But struggling is okay, because if you're struggling, that means that there's effort being put in. When something stops struggling, that means that you've given up. If there's no more struggle, then you've given up. But struggle is okay. Keep struggling. Keep trying, because like I said, if you're struggling, that means there's effort being put into that. Some people really look down on themselves, and maybe not so much others, but look down on themselves because, oh, I'm struggling with this. Well, keep struggling. Don't quit doing that. Don't give up, because if you give up, then what? But if you keep struggling, you have the chance of winning and coming out of whatever you're into and coming out to the other side of it. And that's just the way that I feel about it. And I could talk about that for a long time, but I won't. I'm just trying to really do this, and I feel like that. I feel very optimistic about it. Like, if you just to kind of say it out loud, I feel like it's going well. I feel like I'm really in a good place, because I feel, how do I explain it? I feel like I'm in a good place because I'm looking at these things, and I don't look at it all as, oh man, I'm never going to be able to do this. This is something that's too big for me. It is too big for me, but it's not too big for me and him. It's not too big for me and God. So I really look at it all as, I got this. I don't think I got this by myself, but I got this because I'm not by myself, because he's going to help me. We already have an understanding, me and Jesus. I remind him daily, I can't even have good sense unless you help me. I can't wake up in the morning. I can't walk. I can't comprehend. I don't even know how to breathe unless you help me. So the whole thing about like, oh, I'm a self-made person, I did this, that's not me. I can't do nothing if he don't help me. And he even said that in his word. He said, I'm the vine, you're the branches. Without me, you can do nothing. Yes, I accept that. I acknowledge that fully. So because he's helping me, and because he's the one who is going to help me through these types of things, I really have a lot of optimism looking at it, and I'm excited. I'm excited about these things. I don't think that this is something that's bad, or that I should be feeling overwhelmed by. One thing that I've mentioned, how hard it is to be positive whenever you're around a lot of negativity. It is, but I feel like I've been doing a better job this year of letting the negativity just kind of roll off, like water on a duck's back, just kind of roll off and not take hold of it, because there's so much negativity that requires your own participation in order for it to affect you. But if you just let it bypass you and just let it, for lack of a better term, if you just ignore it, then it really can't affect you because it requires your participation. Well, if you choose not to participate, then it's just something that happened and now you move on. I know that's not easy for everyone. It's not easy for me, but it is something that the Lord's helping me with, and I'm thankful for that. I'm trying to think of anything else I wanted to update you guys on. Really not. I feel like there was something. Oh, I know what it was. If you enjoyed this video, I really think you'll enjoy my podcast, because some of the episodes that I put out, I do have a guest. Some of them is just me and Sarah talking. But then some of them, most of them at this point, are just me talking about things like this, giving updates or giving my thoughts on a certain topic. For the solo episodes, I plan on trying this new format where I'm taking 3 or 4 different topics per show, and per episode, I should say. And I'm going to be talking about those 3 or 4 different topics in that one episode to kind of offer more of a variety of things for different people to enjoy. Like, you may not be interested in one of those topics, but you may be interested in the other. I'm doing one very soon where I'm going to be talking about crying, bull riding, shopping local, and my YouTube channel, because some of my listeners may not be aware of the channel yet. So that's 4 topics right there where, there's something there for somebody, So if you enjoyed this video, I encourage you to check out the podcast, because I feel like you will probably like it. And if you do, then just subscribe, and that way you won't miss any of my other uploads. But I've enjoyed talking to you today. I appreciate you hanging out with me. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Please leave a comment and subscribe to the channel. Share the channel with a friend, a neighbor, whoever it is you think might enjoy the content. And I look forward to bringing you more videos very, very soon. Go subscribe to the podcast. It's called Pray Before Chips, and I'll be uploading over there very soon as well. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I will catch you again in the next one. Until next time, be blessed.